this is what they do. These people, they get very angry at this country, and then what?
I love America. America's
I'm talking about fucking Texas fans, bro.
Oh,
He makes everything racist. Good evening, degenerates, and welcome back to another episode of DGen Hours College Football Week 12.
Holy shit.
We are officially in, as Scott Hansen would say, the witching hour, where wins turn into losses and losses into wins. Shout out Scott Hansen.
Shout out
bang, my God.
Shout out Red Zone.
Last week was an interesting one because Ryan and I had been really carrying the show in college football picks.
Really caring.
Ryan 19-23 last week. I was 4-12. Terrible week. I've been doing, like, on average, most of my weeks are above 50%, and when I have a losing week, it's just open the floodgates, ruin the records. And Mike and Mario both above 50%. Mario's biggest week, 10-4. So
that's absurd.
Well done.
Yeah.
Really well done. Mortal locks, terrible. Throw them up. 1-3. It was our worst week by far.
Sorry about that.
We usually have been really close to the parlay. Mortals were bad. I lost my third straight mortal, so I'm now relegated.
That's crazy.
I'm now relegated. I picked BYU minus 3.5, and the worst possible thing happened where they won the game but didn't cover the spread.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I was terrified of that outcome, but I thought they would stay outside. It didn't happen. So it's a 3-leg parlay this week. If you're not familiar with what we're doing with the parlays.
Quick. Sorry. Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say, I would just like to take a moment to apologize to everyone who had been tailing my mortals because I was on such a heater, and I had done something that I had never done before, and I had repeated the team back-to-back weeks. It was a mistake. It was a disaster, and I am in shambles ever since. So I just want everyone.
But you're gonna flip it. You're not in shambles because you're gonna flip.
We're back on the train.
Back on the train.
Back on the train.
Mike loves trains.
If you don't know what we're talking
Irish?
about with mortal locks and parlays, we put our own money on a parlay every week, and if those picks hit, we give you money just for commenting, liking, and subscribing.
Free
cash.
We've already
Free
paid someone
money.
this year. We
Free
hit
cash.
early in the season in September. Dry October, but it's
Hey,
November
what
now.
was the 3-legger also?
Yeah,
Hey.
so let's see if we can pay. You're going to get paid $450 if there are 3 mortals hit, and I got to win one to get back in the parlay. So big week coming up. A lot of ranked matchups. Let's see how this goes. First game, Clemson at Pitt. Big matchup in the ACC. It looked like it was going to be a lot bigger of a matchup before both these teams dropped some games. Clemson minus 10.5. Total 54.5. I want to go last on this.
Oh,
10.5. 10.5. It went up from 9.5.
I was about to say,
Ryan, I want to start with you.
Well, I love starting with this. How can I say this, frankly?
How can you say it?
Clemson should murder them. I mean, this should be an all-out murder. Pitt is terrible program. I've been saying this all year. Lucky start, undefeated, terrible program, murdered by SMU, embarrassed by Virginia at home. But it is Dabo. You know, you can't count out Dabo having a close game.
Sure.
I'm going to lean with the home dog at Pitt plus 10.5. I think Clemson wins 100 out of 100 times, but I just don't see them covering. At the end of the day, though, I'm hammering the over. Putting everything on the over. I think these two teams are going to score a lot. It's their last meaningful game. They're not going to go out with a little bang. So I'm going to lean Pitt, but I love the over.
Mario?
Yeah, this is a tough game, especially because the line moved. I loved 9.5. 10.5 is kind of
A little scary.
like is Clemson really like? It depends how how they're feeling that morning. How Dabo wakes up. Is he feeling
you can tell
dangerous?
on the first snap, you know?
Yeah, no. If it's like Phil
He
Maffa,
hasn't felt dangerous.
if it's,
Film off for 2 yards, you know?
no, it's gonna be like false start. Incomplete. Phil Maffa 3rd and 15, and then I know exactly what type of game it's gonna be. That's why I'm taking Clemson minus 10.5.
Shot.
Because I don't think Pitt is good, and even on 3rd and 15, Phil Maffa runs for 16. So
You do.
yeah, easy.
Yeah. First of all, I slightly disagree with Mario, and I
That's okay.
fully disagree with Ryan. And here's why.
So you have
is
Clemson,
because I
have
am
Pitt.
not shaky on my Clemson minus 10.5 here. I am absolutely all over it, and I am also all over the under here. And let me give you the reason why. The reason why is because Pitt is actually a pretty formidable team, regardless of if Ryan wants to admit it or not. They were winning the game against SMU all the way up until the third quarter when their actual starting quarterback got hurt. And although he wasn't playing fantastic,
Very true.
everything went off a cliff after that. Their next quarterback, his name is Nate Yarnell, is a garbage human being. I mean,
do you
this
have
guy
against
is a
Nate?
disaster.
Mr. Yarnell?
I mean,
did he
he's
do
a
to you?
disaster of breath. I hate him.
Master of breath.
I hate him so much. He threw 2 picks. He's
Ryan
gonna
has-
throw 17 picks.
Tell me the box score of the SMU pick game,
Hey,
please.
hey! Michael's turn. Michael's turn.
Not
Tell
for
him
a
about
second.
Hey!
Not for a second.
Score.
Not for a second. Pitt was leading.
So they're winning-
After the
winning
first
in the
quarter,
third.
it was 7-3. After the second quarter, it was 31-3.
They're winning in the third.
Not for a
Ah.
second of the game that was
Ryan.
winning or close.
They were winning in the third.
I mean, I actually was like, wait, maybe I saw like in a dream and I have no idea what I'm talking
No,
about.
I was
this
like,
is-
I thought the game.
No, it was a blowout.
Because I hammered.
They
SMU
were
that.
winning in the third. Remember?
No,
That's
I
the
was-
craziest
It wasn't
thing I've
until
ever
the
heard.
backup quarterback came in.
No, the backup quarterback came
tried to
in,
just make
and
something
then
up.
everything
No.
went off the cliff.
They actually scored their most points when the backup
No,
quarterback came in.
you're right, but you're wrong. You're right, but you're wrong.
Oh,
all right.
Lord.
Pitt
So
didn't
their
have a
starting
touchdown the
quarterback was a
Mine's just
disaster.
so sharp.
Second
God.
string quarterback, extra disaster. Threw picks. He's gonna threw 2 picks.
What the
He's
fuck?
gonna throw 17 picks against Clemson. Clemson minus 10.5, and also take the under because Pitt isn't gonna score at all.
Come on.
All right.
Oh, my picks.
I don't know what all that was about. That
Bang.
Was,
That's the
for
bang. That's
That
a
many,
bang.
for that many notes.
You just made up.
That's crazy that you could actually
none of them
make
are
it
real.
up, bro.
None of those are real notes.
It's just like
Nate Darnell's a real.
if it
guy.
happens like one time, it's like okay, maybe like you misread
Yeah, it's
something.
fine.
But when it happens
Every episode.
multiple times a week, consistently every week,
I know Mike wasn't watching those games either. Earlier today, he asked me if Pitt plays a 2-quarterback system.
Nate Yarnell was 9 for 10 for 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Our
Oh, great
intern's
game
just
as
yelling
well.
at stats. He had a great game, apparently. The backup
he had
kid.
one incompletion.
Yeah,
It's like
No,
near
somebody threw a
flawless.
couple picks.
but just one pick. But yeah, this
Something like
game
that.
is one I've been scared of all season. I knew Louisville would be a tough game. I still went with Clemson just because I do it every week. But I knew Louisville would be tough. This Pitt team, I think I was wrong on how good they were, but I don't think they're bad. I think they have it in them to beat good teams. Blowing out Syracuse was, I think, a really, really good win, and they have a couple pretty good wins, throughout the rest of the year. But this is a home game for Pitt. I hate this number being outside of 10 because I just haven't seen it from Clemson, the ability to hold a lead against a good team or even create a lead against a good team in the first
Most important.
in the first place. Yeah. And Cade has played unbelievable, literally Heisman-esque if you look at his stats, if you take away the 2 losses. And the 2 losses were against the 2 best teams we played. And I think Pitt's in that category of Louisville caliber rather than the other ACC teams we played where he throws for 5 touchdowns at halftime. Yeah. So I'm going to bet Clemson because I always do. But I would caution anyone to go all in on this because I don't trust our team to be able to go in and just blow out, a 7-win plus team on the road.
Yeah.
Especially not when Cade really, really struggles against good teams. So that's my take. Very, very down on Clemson, but we have a shot, and I think Miami losing does give us a little something.
Little fire.
Glimmer of hope.
Should be
Like,
some
Glimmer of
fire.
hope.
Now we're completely out of the picture. There's no more undefeated ACC. Clemson's going to make the playoff, or expected to make the playoffs. Now it's like if you lose another game, hell is really freezing over. Dabo is really on the block. But if they win out and somehow Miami loses and somehow we're in the playoffs regardless with a bye, everyone forgets the losses earlier in the year. So I think we win the games. The spread's going to be a close one. All right, next game we have, big game, Tennessee at Georgia. We prefaced a little bit of this. We talked about should we panic on Georgia episode. They lost last week in a big way to Ole Miss. Mike, I want to start with you on this one. UGA minus
Right.
9.5, total 48.5.
So, if you watched the recap earlier in the week, we talked about Georgia and Tennessee actually, and Ole Miss, who Georgia played last week and was upset by. And what we talked about and what I think is a key factor in this game is that Ole Miss had that one key factor being their defensive line, the number 2 blitzing D line in the nation, that was able to get to Carson Beck, force a lot of errors, and force him to just not be a good quarterback. They also shut down the run. I think their leading rusher had like 49 yards at the end of the game or something like that. So pretty miserable. Tennessee, on the other hand, has a really electric offense that probably will piece up Georgia on a couple of drives, but their defense just doesn't have what it takes to force the errors that we saw last week. They're not going to be able to contain this Georgia offense, who is not the same as they were the past 3 years, but they're still very, very formidable, and everybody should be taking Georgia
Tennessee
here.
does have a top 10.
Insane defense.
Yeah, I don't think they have the
Much
the
higher,
right key.
much
to
higher
fit.
ranked than Ole Miss.
I don't think they have the right key to fit into that one weakness.
The key.
I don't think they have the key.
They don't have the key.
I'm also taking the over.
All right, Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Mike here. I think Tennessee, really strong defense, not a good offense.
That's sharp.
No, I mean
fine.
that's so.
No, that's fine.
Being realistic, it's hard for me to take this Georgia spread just because I haven't seen Georgia's so hit or miss. They could come out and play like they did, that first half against Texas, second half against Bama. I just think Tennessee, even though it's one of those games where they're going to cover this 9.5, but it's never going to be a game where they look like in it to win it. You know what I mean? Georgia's always going to have control.
Gotcha.
So that would be my prediction on how the game plays out. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this this Tennessee offense. I just think it's a little bit too inconsistent. Especially Nico. He makes some good throws here and there, but he just doesn't deliver it for me on a consistent basis. So
Yeah. No, I hear you. Tennessee is an interesting team because AP has them solidly in the top 10,
Yeah.
6. College football playoff rankings kind of mirror that, but they haven't really beat anyone besides Bama this year. So we know they beat Bama by 7. We're all familiar with that game. Really grinded out game. 17-24. Tennessee was at home. Obviously, Milroe played really bad. Tennessee's other wins this year don't impress me. They beat Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, Oklahoma, lost to Arkansas, and then beat Florida and Kentucky and Mississippi State. So these are for an SEC schedule. This is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
They've only had one tough game. I guess 2 technically because they lost to Arkansas, and they played really well against Bama. But I don't see them even hanging in this game. I think the spread tells you everything you need to know. I think a lot of people are going to be on Tennessee plus the points.
I'm taking Georgia.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Georgia spread.
Tennessee has the higher ranking, and whenever I see a matchup, especially in conference, where it's a team with the higher ranking at the end of the season is a 10-point underdog, the public is going to look at that and be like, this is free money, or take the money line, or take the plus the spread. So I absolutely love Georgia minus the points here. I don't know why, because Georgia hasn't given me any confidence in their ability to beat good teams. And I do consider Tennessee a good team, although I am pretty shaky on their offense, and I haven't seen them really beat a lot of good teams this year. I mean, Bama, I think, had a really bad game in that instance, but I like Georgia in a pretty big way in this spot. I really do think they get it done.
Yeah, I'm just going to lone wolf the shit out of this. I actually really like Tennessee in this spot. I know it has huge implications of Nico being healthy. I think I really need him to be healthy for this to be good. Ever since that Bama game, he's looked impressive to me. He doesn't turn the ball over. His completion percentage has been really good. He's been throwing the ball downfield, which is his. If he can get hot doing that, it's very hard to stop college quarterbacks in general, like Milroe, like the guys like the old Penix, the Dylan Gabriels. So if he could throw the ball downfield, he'll look great. I just think this defense, man, every time Georgia plays a pretty good defense, like the Kentuckys, like the Ole Misses, where they're just grimy, good defensive lines, they don't do well. And Tennessee has one of the best defenses in the country. They haven't given up any games where it's been holy shit, what a close game. It's all been
their best part.
It's all been maybe 2 touchdowns total and a couple field goals, or a couple field goals in the whole game. I like this team a lot. I think their defense steps up. I think Nico plays a perfect game, which I think he'll need to beat the short. This is a tough game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll win. I think it'll be close, but I love the points here. I think Nico gets it done. I think the defense gets it done. And the reason for that, I love the under. I think this is going to be a disgusting SEC game with huge, everything is for the playoffs in this game. Either one loses, they're 100% out, in my opinion. So you got to win, and I think the defense will step up. It's going to be a crazy game. I like Tennessee in the points.
Who do you think it has a better game, Carson Beck or Nico?
Nico.
Before we move on. You think Nico? Nico or Carson?
He needs to.
Nico.
He needs to win.
I think Carson Beck. So, and if you look at the
think so.
history of these big SEC schools this year, when they go head to head, the quarterback that plays better usually is the team that wins. So
Yeah.
you don't really see a
be great.
quarterback ball out and lose. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I could see a world where Tennessee has or Nico balls out, but Georgia just has the well balanced offense and can kind of just score.
Nico balling out would be a lot of
Score
points.
Georgia
Yeah.
hasn't had that all year.
Yeah,
That's why.
if Nico balls out, Tennessee wins.
It'll be interesting. Last game, big game in the Big 12, especially for the Shador Show.
Shador!
Utah at Colorado. Colorado now controls their own destiny to make the college football playoffs. They went out. They win the Big 12 championship. They are in. Colorado 9.5-point home favorites, total 47.5.
God, we love those lines this week. 9.5.
They're
10,
all 9.5, 10.5. Big lines for pretty good games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go first. Make it easy for you. Colorado. You look at this Utah team. I am not impressed at all. I mean, they lost to Arizona State. They lost to TCU. They lost to Houston. They lost to BYU. That is their last 4 games. Actually, sorry. They lost to Arizona before that as well. They've lost their last 5 matchups. This Utah team is bad. Sure, they hang in a lot of these games. You can say, the TCU was a 6-point game. Houston was a 3-point game. BYU was a 1-point game. Yeah. The games where it was close against good teams, though, Utah was at home, which makes a big difference. It was the all-time stadium record last week against BYU. They still lost, but that place was so loud they couldn't hear themselves think. Yeah. This is in Colorado, where all of a sudden, the door's just been opened.
Yeah.
Iowa State losing just means Dion can will himself into the playoffs and all of a sudden get the big, he was already going to get a huge bag wherever he wants to go, but he can take over that Florida State job and bring all his transfers with him and just get paid a shitload of money if they bring this team to the college football playoffs after winning 1 game, when he first came in. Florida State, how many wins they have this year? 1 game. So not only for the program, but for Dion, this game is everything. This game, and then after that, they obviously have to close the rest out. But I think this is a spot where they can really establish themselves, especially as BYU, some questionable lines coming into the rest of the year, a lot of 3-point spreads.
Yeah.
So I love Colorado here. They've been on fire. Utah has nothing to play for. They're on the road. There's not going to be much motivation. So I love Colorado. Mario, are you riding with me? And you've been on Colorado. You've been on the right side pretty much all year.
Yeah. I feel like I have a pretty good read on this Colorado team. And I think the main factor for me taking Colorado here is because they're home. Utah at home, it would, definitely be a little bit
Way different spread.
Yeah, way different spread, a lot more hairy situation of a game. I might be the only one here. I guess you're pretty big on Colorado too, but
Blowout.
I don't think this game is really going to be much of a sweat.
No.
I'm not saying Colorado comes out and just absolutely dominates or anything like that, because I think Utah is probably a little bit more physical of a team. I just think skill-wise and the amount of points per game that Colorado's offense puts up, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Like, Utah's offense isn't that impressive to me, so I just think, halftime it'll probably be 21-13, and then final score 38, 24 or something. Colorado won. It just kind of just fly under the radar, they just win.
Yeah. Mike, you're a big Colorado fan. How do you feel about this one?
I hate Colorado.
We know.
Buffs off a fucking cliff. But
Utah's staying in the number then, right?
But no, Colorado's on fire, and being at home gives them a massive advantage. Also, it is very notable that Colorado is on a 7-0 run against the spread, and there's just no chance that they get dethroned here. So Colorado minus 9.5, and I'm also taking the over because I think this will be
Colorado overs.
Yeah.
I think this will be similar to the. Honestly, I could see this game playing out pretty much exactly like last week against Texas Tech, with 41 against 20 something, maybe.
Oh, okay, so Colorado in the over.
Big
Yeah.
line.
Colorado in the over. I'm on Colorado. Is it consensus?
Absolutely not.
Unfortunately, everyone knew.
My God.
I know he loves to do it.
He's still on the over, right?
No, I'm actually on the under.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Why were you?
Because he doesn't. He's
wants
picking
Colorado
Colorado,
to
but he
lose.
obviously wants Colorado to lose.
Yeah.
He's trying to jinx them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Life has.
I'm just the way I see the games. This is a tough one for me.
Why the spread then? Sorry.
He's sharp. Let Mike cook. This is a tough one to me. The other 2 games Colorado has lost this year, they played Nebraska, which is a top 20 defense all around. And they
That's
played
not where I thought you were going with that.
and they played wow. Woo! And they played Kansas State, which is I think a top 30 defense, but it was a closer game. Nebraska was a blowout. They never had a chance. This is the third
Both on the road.
This is the third defense that they actually have to play. I think Kansas State might have been at home.
Was it home?
I can check.
I'm gonna
think
check.
Kansas-
Regardless, it doesn't matter.
Jayhawks.
Kansas
Nope.
State.
Oh,
Mike just never knows.
So yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
keep
it
talking.
was
You
a home,
just keep.
it was a home game.
Wildcats.
So I'm gonna be saying that I think Utah's
That was
defense.
bleeped out. That was bleeped out.
I
You didn't
think
hear that.
I think that Utah
Nebraska.
I think Utah is going to stay in this game because of their defense. I haven't seen Colorado be able to play a good defense and beat them well. I love the under also here because I think it'll be a closer game. Colorado could cover this number, like maybe in the last second. I think it'll be a much closer game than people think. Utah loves spoiling every year. They're never ever good. Sometimes every once in a while they have a chance, but they spoil every year in the Pac-12 and they're going to spoil this year. They might not win. I like the number. Hammer the under.
Oh, there you have it.
Hammer.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, just
You're
hammer.
making an interesting
Oh,
hand
hammer.
gesture there.
Hammer.
I thought you said I'm out for a second.
Yeah, I have
Get
no
out,
idea.
Mike.
He's
All right,
in his
I'm
own
sorry.
world. He didn't hear a word Ryan said.
No idea.
No, I always listen.
He
to
didn't
Ryan.
hear a
No, I
one
didn't.
word.
Ryan, when you listen, when you
Yeah, see, he can't even speak.
Wrap it up.
He can't even speak.
Whoa.
Dude, this is-
English was his third language though.
Whoa.
FLB.
It was gibberish and logic, 1 and 2.
Hey, I speak
We got a lot of
logic.
picks to cover though. Let's get in the cards.
All right, starting off as I do most weeks, Colorado minus 9.5 against the Utah Utes, and Colorado Utah over 47.5. Texas horns down,
Hook 'em
but
horns.
this week horns up.
Hook
Minus
'em.
13.5 against Arkansas. Clemson, shout out Tyler, minus 10.5 against Pitt. Navy plus 6.5 against Tulane. I hate Tulane because they made me miss my mortal.
Fair.
Ohio
Fair
State, shout out Ryan, minus 30.5 against Northwestern. Liberty. Minus 14.5 against UMass.
Sharp.
Kyle McLaren McCord, Syracuse plus 8.5 against Cal. Cal, Syracuse over 55.5. Hawaii, Utah State over 59.5 points. Illinois minus 2.5 against Michigan State. SMU minus 16.5 against Boston College. Shout out Ryan. SMU, Boston College over
Always
53.5. Always points. Oregon State minus 4.5 against Air Force. Shout out Kyle. Sorry.
Shout out.
Georgia minus 9.5 against Tennessee. Live flip. Arizona State, Kansas State over 49.5. Boise State, shout out Ashton Genty for Heisman. Minus 13.5 against San Jose State. Oregon minus 14.5 against Wisconsin. Washington State minus 13.5 against New Mexico. Down with New Mexico. Washington State, New Mexico over 72.5. And last pick, LSU minus 4.5 against Florida. Real quick. I just want to say, listen, I'm one to stand up for social issues. I just want to say,
But
Brian Kelly.
Oh.
you know, I've kept quiet too long. You know, he is.
Break the silence.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
time-
Break the
it's time
ice.
we break the silence. Listen,
boom, that's how we do it.
Brian Kelly is. I think we all know he's racist. I think we all know. Listen, he's xenophobic.
Oh,
He's transphobic.
Yep.
You know, he hates a lot of groups.
A lot.
And you know, as impressive as
he said the Chinese only eat dogs and cats.
And that's just true. But continue.
Maybe-
Whoa, whoa!
maybe he did. All I'm gonna say is, you know, I know he's considered one of the best coaches in college football, and it's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to say this, but I think we just LSU as a program, we have to do the right thing. We got to say, you know what, Brian Kelly, as amazing as you were, as much as you gave us these past 3 years, I think it's time, you know, we move on.
Go our separate
He's
ways.
he's the best coach to ever visit Epstein's Island.
All right, passing it on to Mike.
Hey, I mean,
He knows a little bit.
Mike
about
knows a
Epstein.
lot about the Epstein Island.
Yeah,
He does.
he does.
He tried
I
to
like
create an own island of
conspiracies.
himself.
Love
Wait,
conspiracies.
Epstein, which Epstein are we talking? Jeff Epstein, the New
financier?
York from New York.
The
The
financier.
financier?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, getting back into the cause because hello, bonjour.
Today you're French.
He doesn't,
Yes.
he doesn't have any picks. He's just
Never
posturing.
American.
Oh, okay. So we're starting with Texas, baby. We're starting with Texas minus 13.5 going at Arkansas because Arkansas. Clemson minus 10.5 at Pitt. Clemson Pitt under 48.5. Georgia minus 9.5 versus Tennessee. Colorado, I hate to do it, but them
Wow,
minus
undercard.
9.5
You
versus
moaned when
Utah.
Mario said Colorado on his card.
I just hate them so much. But it's a sharp line, so I have to do it. And then getting into your picks that we haven't talked about. Boom. Ohio State. Hey, stop. Ohio State. Shout out Ryan. Shout out the cameraman Kev. Minus 30.5 at Northwestern. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Spit on.
And then we're filming this on Veterans
got
Day.
that
So
lock
hey, we're filming this on Veterans Day. So shout out the freaking.
Whoa.
We like veterans on this show, Mike. We support veterans.
Hey,
We
give
do
us a
not.
salute.
No.
Okay,
Shout
all
out,
right.
Kyle. You're in the Air Force.
Shout out, Kyle. I love
Us three, Mario, myself, and Ryan, do not support Mike's
No,
hate
I-
of veterans.
I love
We
the
all have
veterans.
veterans
You
in our
almost
I
just
love
cussed them out.
America.
You literally just cussed them
A
out.
shout out, you guys.
You're not from America.
Shout out, you guys. Shout out Navy plus 6.5 versus Tulane. And then also shout out Illinois minus 2.5 going against Michigan State. Michigan State. Let me
are
tell
you
you
shouting
something.
them out for?
Let me tell you something.
Let him-
Right.
How about
Let
you
me
just
tell-
get to a
Let him
point?
finish.
I tell you something right now. Michigan State sucks.
He finishes early.
That's it. SM.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, that was ironic and mean for me.
No, I already there.
Okay, SMU, go Mustangs. Minus 16.5 versus Boston College. Down with Boston.
What?
Okay.
Dude.
LSU.
Wait. You guys are gonna move on.
I mean, what do you
What the f are you saying?
cussed out our veterans?
Didn't mean to.
You asked.
Didn't mean to. You go, the military, and then just started cussing.
You
No,
brought up the
no.
Chinese eating dogs and cats.
No.
What
said-
more can
This
you
is all
say?
being
Down
mis-
with Boston.
This is all
more
being
with-
misinterpreted.
You quite literally said.
You're a terrorist, is what you're saying.
We've known he's a
Okay,
terrorist.
all right.
No, we're officially.
Hot mics, brother. Hot mics.
Yeah. Why? Wait. What?
You're not
explain.
Uh,
Explain the Boston thing. I just for our viewers.
no, I don't
Yeah.
really want to go into that too much because I feel like I said something I probably shouldn't have said. So
He was
we're just
never
gonna
caught.
move
He
on.
doesn't want to incriminate himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no statute of limitations, baby.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Are you?
No. That no.
So that's.
Although there is a conspiracy.
Dude,
about
no.
okay.
We're gonna
Okay,
get
all right.
canceled. He
saying.
is the conspiracy.
There is a conspiracy.
He's the happiest he's been. Look at him
Look
smiling.
at him. Here, talking about America going down.
Smiling.
That's crazy.
No,
He's just
that's-
cussing
that's
people
not
out.
true. That's
As soon
not
as
true.
you start talking about Statue of Liberty going up in flames, he just
Not-
big
nope.
smile. This is what they do with these people. They
Whoa!
they get very
Whoa!
angry at this country, and then
Whoa!
what?
I love America. America's
I'm
done
talking,
nothing.
outsider.
I'm talking about fucking Texas fans, bro.
Oh,
He makes everything racist. He tries to turn everything into a race team.
Yeah.
People whose college football teams aren't winners need something to get angry about.
Yeah.
Like you. So you just get angry when you don't
we're
get the
the
wins.
thrd best team in the nation. I'm very
Like
happy.
you never
won?
want to play. You never want
What
to
have you
playoff
won?
game. Chirp
We're
down,
about to win
little
the.
boy.
What have you
We're
won?
about to win the.
What have
natty.
you won?
Chirp down.
We're gonna win the natty.
Your one real game. What
You're up
happened?
here, Mike.
We're
Let's
gonna-
get way down here, brother. Get to reality.
That's still big for him.
reality.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry,
Sorry,
finish
table,
the
Mike. You're
All right,
favorite.
let me finish my card,
Okay,
baby. All right,
okay.
let's get back into this card.
It's the longest
son.
ever lasted.
Yeah. God, you're so mean.
What?
LSU, go Tigers.
Oh no!
Mine-
Fire Brian Kelly.
Yes.
If I didn't say already, he's racist. He's xenophobic. He's transphobic.
He's Mike's favorite coach.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, which is alarming.
Epstein
Yeah.
brothers.
Not true. Steve, I love you, Steve. Shout out Sark.
That's
LSU.
his boyfriend. He's also a fantasy.
No,
Peasy.
LSU minus 14,
Fire Brian
minus
Kelly.
4.5 at Florida. Nebraska, go Cornhuskers. Plus 8.5 at USC. Down with them.
Not a Lincoln Riley fan.
Yeah, nope.
Love
Mizzou, plus 12.5 at South Carolina.
Okay.
Because that's a game you should bet. Boise State, shout out Ashton Genty, minus 13.5 at San Jose State. And then also Oregon, minus 14.5 at Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Because Cheeseheads,
Wisconsin.
You hate cheeseheads. We know. Trust me, we've known.
down with them. Oregon State, Washington State,
Gotcha.
minus 13.5 at New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And Wazoo, New Mexico over of 72.5.
It's here.
That's a lot.
And then
Oh, it's gonna hit a half.
shout out Joseph Smith Jr. BYU minus 2.5 versus Kansas.
And J.
Shout out the Mormons.
Bang! I was gonna throw my phone, but I can't do that because we have more coming up. So bang.
Wow. That was
That was
What
a
a card.
lengthy
Yeah.
card.
Short.
Real lengthy.
Really had to,
Had some
fight through that.
That's some
That's some what?
duration.
had some duration. Had some
some
duration
duration.
to it.
See,
Had some meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Mike's a big
Mike, you
meat,
love meat on the
big
bone.
meat and bone guy.
You're not a boneless wing guy.
All right, here we go. He's not a boneless wing.
He's not a boneless wing.
He needs his
Never-
bones in him. He doesn't like the
Bone
bones
in.
out.
He's a bone.
But he's a
in
bone.
guy.
He's a bone in guy. Mike's a bone in guy.
Time out.
He's a bone-in guy.
Time out, brother.
You got some on your. Wait, get a little sauce on there. You want
All right, we need picks.
All right, first pick, Clemson minus 10.5. Georgia minus 9.5. Colorado also minus 9.5. Those three we already talked about. Texas minus 13.5 at Arkansas.
Hook
Love
'em.
it. Yeah, sure. Hook 'em
Hook
for
'em.
now. Navy plus 6.5 at home against
he's back.
Tulane. I'm back on betting them, not mortaling them. I can't do it
That's fair.
again.
Fair's fair.
Syracuse plus 8.5 at Cal.
Love it.
Virginia plus 22.5 at Notre Dame. Love this line. Almost mortaled it. LSU minus 4.5 at Florida. Missouri plus 12.5 at South Carolina. That's going to be a tough one to cover, but I still like it. Boise State minus 13.5 at San Jose State. And BYU minus 2.5 at home against Kansas.
Beautiful. I love it.
Love it.
Ready to get murdered. Your ears are about to get messed up. I'll
Hey,
be censored.
baby,
Censored.
you get ready to rumble.
All right. North Texas, UTSA over 71.5. North Texas team total over 36.5. UCLA, Washington under 47.5. Colorado, Utah under 47.5. Texas minus 13.5 versus Arkansas.
horns.
And Texas team total over 35.5. Clemson, Pitt over 54.5. Ohio State, Northwestern over 43.5. Tulane, Navy over 54.5. Tulane team total over 30.5. Auburn minus 23.5 versus UL Monroe. Marshall minus 8.5 versus Coastal Carolina. Marshall team total over 33.5. Jacksonville State minus 13.5 versus FIU. Syracuse, California over 55.5. Syracuse plus 8.5. Hawaii, Utah over 59.5. Hawaii team total over 30.5. Utah State team total over 29.5. Louisville minus 19.5 for Stanford. Notre Dame team total over 36.5. LSU minus 4.5 for Florida. Fire Brian Kelly. Penn State, Purdue over 50.5. Tennessee plus 9.5 for Georgia. Georgia, Tennessee under 48.5. USC minus 8.5 for Nebraska. Baylor minus 2.5 for West Virginia. South Carolina minus 12.5 for Missouri. South Carolina team total over 28.5. Arizona State, Kansas State over 49.5. Louisiana minus 8.5 for South Alabama. Texas State minus 27.5 for Southern Miss. Boise State, San Jose State over 61.5. San Jose State plus 13.5. Texas A&M minus 39.5. North Carolina, Wake Forest over 64.5. North Carolina team total over 38.5. Washington State, New Mexico over 72.5. Washington State team total over 42.5. BYU minus 2.5 versus Kansas. BYU team total over 29.5. SMU minus 16.5 for Boston College. SMU Boston College over 53.5. And now I end every fucking card. SMU team total over 34.5.
Bang!
There you have it. That was an electric card.
Woo!
Electric card.
Woo!
Mike is on something right now.
I'm ready to rumble!
I'm not actually sure what he took before this, but it's definitely not good.
They call him Perky Mike.
Perky
They do
Mike.
call him
He's
Perky
perked
Mike.
up.
No,
today.
nobody
very
calls me
perked
that.
up.
Nobody's ever
Perked
called
up
me
and
that.
bones in.
What?
Mortal
What?
Life Parlay, something we give out every week. We pay you. No. We pay you.
You!
For subscribing,
I'm looking at you!
for liking, for commenting.
Just go comment.
I am relegated because my picks are terrible. If I lose next
See him
week,
next week.
I have a cone on my head if I lose next week. If I win, I'm back in the parlay. But for now, it is only 3 legs. Let's go ahead and tell you what picks are in your parlay.
Boom.
Looking here right now. I am
it.
so hot in these mortal parlays.
Whoa.
You should be riding the shit out of me. I'm talking to our girl viewers.
In the
Ride
mic.
me. Ride me well.
There you go. They couldn't hear you.
Ride me. Ride me well.
There you
if
go.
you are a girl viewer and you want to win money, ride me. My mortal this week. BYU Kansas over 55.5.
Hey!
Let me tell you why
Go
you're going to
Mormons.
love this.
Go Mormons.
First off, Mormons love me. They love riding me after we're married. They love riding me real good. And I'm telling you why. BYU, slow game in Utah last week. They got the W. They got the win. This is now at home. You win out. You're in the college football playoffs.
Yep.
They're going to score 1 million against a terrible defense Kansas team. 0 defense. Kansas, on the other hand, Jalen Daniels has been playing very well. Upset Iowa State, almost upset Kansas State, scoring out of their freaking minds. There's gonna
Freaking
be
mind!
1 million points, and you will be so happy after leaving my house and riding me. You're welcome.
Smiles for miles, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies mostly.
That is what he is advertising is smiles for miles
Happy endings.
for ladies and gentlemen.
Miles for Miles.
Yep,
So
that's
that's who Miles is for you.
well. Yo, yeah, smiles
Miles
for
is a good
miles.
man for
Yep.
you, but might not be for you. Mike.
No, hey,
it
whoa,
plays both
hey,
sides.
Whoa.
That's the
Whoa.
fake charity Mike put up to
Tyler-
try to get in your
Tyler,
back,
hey.
back allowed in school.
I'm
though.
sorry, I can't hear you. You're relegated.
Oh, there's a bubble. Huge
Can't hear you in the
bubble.
bubble.
He's right.
Can't hear you in the bubble.
He's right.
All right, so I fell off a train, but the train is getting back to shifting. All right, so get back on track.
What is that movement, bro? Shit.
you gotta get back on the
That's
track.
how he
Hey,
shifts.
Stop it!
how he shifts.
Stop it! You gotta get back on track. All right.
The track.
So
I
the
like
play
way you-
here,
guy's
the
never
play here
seen a
is
train
we're gonna be going against. We're gonna be going against.
Break the everything.
No.
I want to hear this pick is going to be
You
loud.
really inspired him when
He
you said
got
Ryan.
really, yeah, he got really excited with the Ryan.
That's what I do, you know? Whoa, what do you have? I want to zoom in. I need to know the truth.
He's
Whoa.
adjusted.
That's 30.
I need to know
That's
the
a
job.
30.
He's adjusted something.
That's a 30.
All right, let me get
Oh,
it.
we're on 30. We're on a
Let me get
30.
it. My
The
board.
adjustment
No,
bureau.
no.
is this.
We're on a 30.
Hey.
30 minutes.
We're on a 30.
I'm not doing it.
Stop
30.
screaming.
30.
You already just.
30.
You ever hear about the waistband trick?
Just flip it. Flip it. And
Mike
rip it.
just tried a waistband and couldn't do it, so he did a full stand up again.
Yeah.
I've never seen him like
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Ryan
he
said
had
to
to
ride
adjust.
him. Mike, he couldn't control it.
The way he gripped
No,
it.
what happened,
Smiles
brother?
for miles.
Not what happened, brother. Not what happened, brother.
Smiles for. All right, time back in. Go ahead.
Time
Smiles
back
for-
in.
Smiles
All
for
right, the
miles.
pick here is we're going against a guy who was once named after a supercar, but he was not a supercar anymore. And he's going against a very formidable team, a team that challenged one of the previous top best teams in the nation, which was once Miami. Before last week, I'm losing my breath because I'm so excited about it. But look. Hey, where the Latinas at?
We'll get it. Hey, if you're Latina, comment your number. Mike will hit
Mr.
you up.
Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Smiles for miles.
Miles for miles.
Mr. 305.
All right. Pick here is Cal Mice 8.5 against Syracuse.
Oh, God.
And the Golden Bears are going to eat the shit out of these Syracuse oranges.
That's actually
They're
not bad.
gonna eat the shit.
I don't mind that. That's actually kind of a bar.
You know?
Eat the shit out of the orange. The Bears eat the shit out of the
Yeah.
oranges.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Mike
Damn
knows about
right.
eating the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, he does.
Nope.
Shout out Miles.
Nope.
Shout out, Smile.
All right.
What?
You see the way he's holding the mic the whole time?
Hey, it's just double.
It's real sus. I don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable being this close to him.
Oh.
Go ahead,
Mike's,
Mario.
Mike's mind's a little.
Come on, Mike.
Well,
The
Finish
pick,
us off.
the pick
Hey,
was
man.
Cal for the parlay, by
Yeah.
the way, because I'm sure you weren't able to follow any of that.
The pick
Stop
is
holding-
Cal.
Yo, why are you holding the
Stop
fucking
doing
mic
that.
like that, bro?
Stop doing that. Hands just at your side.
Why can't you just be normal?
No,
See?
you just
Mario,
He's like-
Mario,
Mario, go ahead.
end us
Yeah,
off here.
yeah.
What are we
How
doing?
about, how
He's
about you
moving-
get going?
Finish him
You're
off.
scaring me
Get-
here.
Finish,
get going.
finish off,
All
Mike.
Go
I'm
on.
gonna.
Mike said go on after Tyler said finish Mike off. Just want that.
Yeah, I
Right.
said
No, I
finish him
don't.
off. He goes, go on.
He starts getting a little.
Yeah,
I know, he's all
extra
excited.
You
pep-
see what
We were
gets him
wondering why he's so
excited.
excited this episode.
You saw him. What gets him excited? Oh, cut. You're done.
No.
Cut?
Time out. You want,
Mike
you
said
want a 30?
another
No,
I'll give you
no,
30, Mike.
Another
No, I don't
30.
want
you're good.
30.
Hey, let's
All
talk about that mail you've been getting.
No, you-
Okay, all right. Anyways,
What?
I want. I have.
I don't
no
know what-
idea
I don't know
you're
what that
talking
is.
about.
you should look on the coffee
False
table. It's interesting.
accusation.
Wait, what is it?
I don't know.
Should we get the mail?
We can't talk about
30
it now?
seconds
False
to get the mail.
accusation.
30 seconds to get the mail.
Yeah,
No, I
No.
think he's just subscribing to interesting
Go
stuff.
get
you
it.
know.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Go
don't
get it.
know.
God.
No,
Go get it.
Another
This
OnlyFans
was
mail.
when he
Like-
had. It was when he had to do the mandatory community service after being,
Whoa, whoa,
he can't-
whoa, 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 whoa.
Can't go
Whoa,
to school
whoa.
zones.
Yeah.
What? What are you
Can't go
yelling
on
about?
airplanes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm saying the reason you can't go to your school zone.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or airplanes.
false accusations.
Dressed
None
up
of this
as like
ever
Chris
happened.
Angel. He's like, yo, what is he? Magic trick.
Yeah.
None of this
It's
ever
all-
happened.
okay.
My full name
The
is
pick.
Michael Christopher Hughes. Look me up.
Yeah, don't look about. You'll
Look me up.
You'll get flagged for
Look
looking
me up.
him up. Don't
Look
do
me
it.
up.
If you're an
throw up
employer,
a photo.
if you're an employer, do not look that
I'll
up.
throw out my social security number right now.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Please.
No, I'm not
Go
gonna
ahead.
do
I mean,
that.
it's already leaked
No,
anyway.
it's
Yeah, no. Nothing's safe anymore. I mean,
the
let's
pick-
talk about national security.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go
All
ahead.
right. The pick this week, we're actually going to jump
Jump.
to NFL.
Oh, God.
Jump into
no.
NFL.
Flippity flip.
This is a team that I watch continuously every week
Mike's not a
because I
writer,
have the running back for the team I'm betting against. We're betting against the Tennessee Titans. Shout
Love
out
it.
Tony Pollard. He's killing
Love
it
it.
on my fantasy team. We're taking the Vikings minus 6.5.
Oh, it should be a murder.
I like it.
Love it.
A
Murder.
million.
Murder.
A million.
And then my mortal lock to get out of relegation: Arizona State plus 8.5 at
I
Kansas State.
love that. Arizona State
Okay.
sneaky
Plus
good.
8.5.
I love that.
Sneaky
And
good
then,
lately.
real quick,
Shout out Scottaboo.
intern Johnson, he's blowing up my phone. He's got
Hey,
this
whoa.
crappy-
Blowing it up. Blowing
Did he
it
hit
up.
last week? Okay.
He did hit last
Alright,
week.
Bounce
I
back.
did.
Might, maybe
First
it
in
gets
3
hot in the
months.
season. You know?
Hey, this
First
guy.
time. 3 months.
The crappy pick of the week this week is Coastal Carolina Marshall over 56.5.
Okay.
Points,
I can live
points,
with that.
points.
I can live with that.
I can live with that.
What an episode!
Not
You're gonna
betting
want to
it.
subscribe so we can pay you, Mario, before the people go ahead and enjoy the rest of their Thursday
Yeah.
evening. Tell them
Hey.
what they gotta do.
Go on.
Go on. Finish him off.
I'm gonna go. If you have not already, leave a comment.
Yep.
Leave a like.
Yep.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
We're paying out money this week.
Paying.
We are.
We're
No,
paying
gonna
you.
hit. We're hitting. I
We
promise. We're
are
hitting.
just giving you money.
Free money.
Give.
All you got to do, subscribe,
Money.
like, comment,
Yep.
turn that notification bell on,
Ding.
and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
Donate to Smile for
Yeah.
Miles.
Smile
What?
for Miles.
Smile for Miles.
Not charity, but
500 yards of school zone.
Venmo me.
or Miles for Smiles.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Or a little
Mike's,
charity race.
Mike's
you know?
put some miles on it. All right,
Nope.
we'll see you
Yeah,
next
Nope.
week.